does a plant reproduce? If you want to know, then watch this entire video, because welcome back to my channel. My name is Jyoti. For today's video, we are going to study the entire chapter reproduction in plants for grade 7 science with fun, and we are going to complete this entire chapter in one go. This is a booster sort of video. If your examinations are coming, this is going to be super helpful for your examinations. So now, without doing any further ado, let's begin with the video motive.
So guys, now beginning with the chapter reproduction in plants, first of all, introduction is very necessary. You guys must be aware of what exactly is reproduction. So here it goes, people. The production of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. Now when new individuals means only one, are produced from parents means they are two, right? You have two parents, your mom and dad. So when they come together and they produce a new individual, this process is known as reproduction. So all the living organisms reproduce, be it humans, elephants or microorganisms. They will reproduce, right? Because if they stop reproducing, their species will come to an end. Okay, the species will come to an end. When I say species will come to an end, this means that if humans are not reproducing, for example, if humans stop reproducing, then what will happen? New humans will not come to lives. And then there will be one day when all the humans in the earth will die, and then our species will get to an end. Now, most plants have roots, stems and leaves. These are called the vegetative parts of the plant. Now, there are parts of the plant, but they are widely classified in two major things, that is vegetative parts and reproductive parts. Okay, vegetative parts and reproductive parts. So vegetative parts, what exactly it is? So those vegetative parts of plants are as follows: roots, stems and leaves. These are the vegetative parts. And when it comes to the reproductive parts, then that is flower. Flower is the reproductive part of the plant. This is the reason for reproduction. Okay, like in humans also there are reproductive parts, right? So in the same way, plants do have reproductive parts, such as your flowers, not such as exactly it's your flower only. Now there are a lot of ways through which plants reproduce. So those all the ways: budding, fragmentation, vegetative propagation, or spore formation. There are a lot. Okay. So what are we doing is, we are classifying all of them in two major groups, in two major categories. That is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Now what is going to happen in asexual reproduction? New plants will grow, but without seeds. There will be no requirement of seeds, people. No requirement of seeds. Without seeds means asexually. Without seeds means asexually. And when it comes to sexual reproduction, means that the plants are going to reproduce. But what is going to happen when they will reproduce? The seed formation will take place, and new offspring will be produced from seeds, means with seeds. Okay, so this is the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction in plants. This is the difference in plants. When it comes to, in general, the asexual reproduction is the reproduction in which only one parent is involved, while sexual reproduction is the reproduction in which parents are involved, means two parents are involved. Now, what are the different types of asexual reproduction? There are vegetative propagation, budding, spore formation, a lot of them. First of all, let's learn about vegetative propagation, and people, budding goes here. So vegetative propagation is also a type of asexual reproduction only, in which new plants are produced from roots, stems, leaves and words. Like for example, you must have observed, you take a rose plant if you're having it, okay, a rose plant that you're having. Now what you have to do is, you have to cut, uska ek branch cut kar dena. You have to cut a branch out of it, and then you have to dig a soil, and you have to try to grow it. Do you know what is going to happen here? The plant will rise. The plant will not die. This is because of vegetative propagation, because the vegetative parts of the plants can grow asexually. So this is only known as vegetative propagation. Now moving on to budding. So budding is also a form of asexual reproduction only, in which a new organism will develop. Of course it is going to develop, but how exactly will it develop? It is going to develop from a bud. Okay, from a bud, as the name suggests, budding. It is going to be developed from a bird, not a bird, it's bird. Okay, so how is the bird, how it will form? Okay, what is the reason behind it? So it is going to be due to cell division. Guys, if you haven't watched my video on the fundamental unit of life in one shot yet, then please do watch it. In the end I have explained each and everything about cell division. So what exactly is a cell division? In which they are going to continuously divide. So this process is seen in organisms like hydra and yeast. Now fragmentation is also a process of reproduction, asexual reproduction. So in this, what is going to happen? It is going to clone. Clone, guys. Do you know the meaning of clone? If someone is your clone, means that particular person is going to look exactly like you. There is not going to be even a bit difference. Okay, exactly like you, from face and everything. Even you will not be able to identify whether you are standing there or it's your clone. So that is cloning. Now fragmentation is a form of asexual reproduction or cloning, in which an organism is split into fragments. Each of these fragments develop into a mature, fully grown individual that are clones of the original organism. In this process, each of these fragments are going to develop. They are going to develop in mature, fully grown individual. Means individual means if we are talking about person. Okay, in person, an individual person, it's going to be grow fully. That is fragmentation. But here we are not talking about animals but plants. But it was just for example. Now, in this process, if this process is taking place, then the new individual will be same as the original parent. Same to same. Now, for example, sponges and lichen reproduce through fragmentation only. Now, what is spore formation? So, the term is also used to refer the process of reproductive via spores. Spores formation means spore is going to be formed. Simple. Now, spores are the reproductive bodies and they are microscopic. Means you cannot see them through eyes. Now what is going to happen is, when the spores are released into the surrounding area, they develop into plant under favorable conditions. When they will be released, then what will happen? They are going to develop into new plants. If possibly there are some favorable conditions that they need. For example, fungi and ferns uses the same process. Now moving on to asexual reproduction. We have completed the entire learning about asexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction in which a male and female are involved. Means it needs male reproductive part as well as female reproductive part. So guys, stamens are known as the male reproductive parts of plants. Male means boy and pistil is the female reproductive part. Do not forget to know this, that stamens are the male reproductive part while pistils are the female reproductive parts of a plant. Now, flowers which contain either only pistil or only stamens are called unisexual flowers. Means they are having, if one flower is having only pistil, no stamen, that will be unisexual. And if it is having only stamen, no pistil, then that will be also unisexual. Now, flowers which are having stamens and pistil both inside them, they are known as bisexual flowers. For example, corn, papaya and cucumber. They produce unisexual flowers. They are going to produce unisexual flowers that are not going to have stamens and pistil both. Maybe that will be only pistil, no stamen, or only stamen, no pistil. But there are also some plants like mustard rose and petunia. They have bisexual flowers. Bisexual means they are going to have pistil and stamen both in them. Simple. Guys, now moving on. What is exactly here written in the third line? So the pistil consists of stigma, style and ovary. What is stigma, what is style, what is ovary? I hope you guys know it. If you haven't watched the video on class 6 science, getting to know plants yet, so please do go and watch it, because that is going to be super informative when it comes to this topic. So a pistil, these are having three parts, that is your stigma, style and ovary. Now ovary contains one or more ovules. It must be having more than one ovules. Female gamete or egg. What is the female gamete, guys? Female gamete is your egg. So the egg formation will take place, but where will it take place? It is going to take place in the ovule. In the ovule. In sexual reproduction, a male and a female gamete fuse to form a zygote. What is going to happen? A male gamete, that is sperm, and a female gamete, that is eggs. They are going to fuse together and then they will form zygote. That is the fertilized egg. They are going to take place, the fertilization process will take place here. Moving on to learning about pollination. Pollination is the act of transferring pollen grains from the male part of the flower, for example anthers, to the female part of the flower, for example stigma. Anthers are the male part while stigma is the female part. Now what is going to happen? The pollen grains are going to transfer. Okay, they are going to transfer from male to the female, female to the male. Simple. Now there are two types of pollination, two wide known pollinations, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. What is going to happen in self-pollination? If the pollen happens to land on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. Okay, if the pollination process is happening, but then the pollen happens to land on the stigma of same flower. Stigma of same flower means if in one flower only, if you have stigma and anthers both. So what is going to happen? The self-pollination process is going to take place. Now, cross-pollination, when the pollen of a flower lands on the stigma of another flower, of some other flower nearby to it, of the same plant, not of different plant, of the same plant, it is going to happen. Then that is a cross-pollination. For example, in this picture, guys, as you can see here, in this picture, there is stigma, pollens here, pollens here is your anthers. What is going to happen? Self-pollination, they are going to transfer to each other. But in cross-pollination, this are giving to this. So this is simple. Now what is fertilization? So fertilization is the process in which male and female gamete fuse to form a zygote. Zygote is the fertilized egg, and then the zygote is going to develop, and once it develops, that is going to be in the age of an embryo. Now after fertilization, the ovary grows into a fruit. That ovary is going to grow into a fruit, and the other parts of the flower fall off. Okay, they are going to fall off. The fruit is the ripened ovary. Ripened means paka hua. The seeds develop from the ovules. The seeds contain an embryo enclosed in a protective seed coat. So the seeds, they are going to develop. The fruit is going to be developed from ovary. Ovary grows and that will form fruit. But then, guys, seeds are going to develop from ovules. Ovary, ovules, different words. Okay. So now seeds is going to have an embryo enclosed. Like you must have seen a seed coat. Okay. सीड के ऊपर एक कोट होता है. दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन ओनली. Now some fruits are like very fleshy and some are juicy. For example, mango, orange, and fleshy and juicy. Okay, well some are like very hard. Like for example, your almonds and walnuts. They are also fruits, but they are hard, right? Now, guys, moving on to the next topic, that is seed dispersal. Seeds and fruits of plants are dispersed away by wind, water, and animals. They are going to be dispersed. The seeds show different characteristics depending on the dispersing agent. Agent means through what reason are they dispersing. For example, here the reason is wind, water, animals. So let's see them. So for wind, in the case of wind, seeds are winched and light to get carried by the wind. Means, for example, if there are some seeds, they are going to be carried through the help of the wind. Okay, हवा उनको उड़ा ले जाएगा. And this mainly takes place in plants like maple and drumstick. Now, hairy seeds, for example, ack and hairy fruit of sunflower, this dispersal will only take place. Now, in another case of water, from water, what is going to happen? These seeds of fruits normally develop into the ability of flowing in the form of fibrous or spongy outer coat. For example, coconut. Okay, they have the ability to flow. they have the ability to flow. They are not going to they are actually not going to sink in. So this is for the water. Now animals, they are having spiny seeds with hooks that are attached to the animal body, which hence carry distance places. Means if animal is sitting, if some seeds are stuck to its back or anywhere, and if it goes to another places and sits there, then it is going to transfer. And then in urinary same process happens, and in a lot of cases. Okay, now few of the seeds disperse when the fruits burst out with a sudden jerk, and then it is going to get scattered away from the parent plant, and then what is going to happen? It is going to grow. For example, in balsam and castor, this process is going to take place. Now guys, this was it about the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video a lot, as much as I have enjoyed making this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, hit on the like button, share this video as much as possible. Let's meet in our next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. See you all. Love you.